We'll continue. Om Sahanavavatu Sahano Bhunaktu Sagadevyam Karavavai Tejasvina Vitamastu Mahavishavahi. Om Shanti Shanti. Just read the first sentence again. Yushmadasmat pratyaya gocharayoho Vishaya Vishayinoho Tamah Prakashavat Viruddha Svabhavayoho Itaretara bhavanupapattau siddhayam Taddharmanamapi Sutaram itaretara bhavanupapattihi. Continuing the vichara, our introductory vichara. Even though a person who has done Adhyāsa, in the process of Adhyāsa itself comes across Vakyas like Atmavare Drashtavyaha, Shrotavyaha, Are Maitreyi, O Maitreyi, dear Maitreyi, Atma needs to be understood, seen. Drashtavyaha, seen is understood. For that, Shrotavyaha, you need to learn, you need to listen to the Swarupa of Atma, you need to listen to the teaching. So such Vakyas and then Pariksha Lokan Ityadi, Vakyas being there, the person along with the Adhyāsa has a simple grasp of the meaning also. Because along with the Angas, the person studies. Therefore, a simple grasp, cursory knowledge is there. Or somebody who is not an Adhyāsa but listens to Vriddhas, somebody giving a talk, somebody's book you read, even though you may not have done the Veda Adhyāsa, but somewhere you read. It can start out of curiosity also, time pass, some way it starts. You are bored with so many things and then let me say this. Or attractive title, attractive cover page, the Swami with the longish robe and all that, or shaven head, whatever. You are impressed, and by that you are inspired to look into, just flip through the pages. Somehow, Swami used to say, back page also, in the newspapers also, there are these spiritual, religious columns are there, etc. Somehow you read this, somehow you become familiar. So this is the Apata Dhyāna, a cursory, a hearsay, an introductory, fleeting, passing information. It's more of an information that you have. Therefore, even though one may have this Apata Dhyāna, but there is no certainty, there is no clarity about what is said, what is needed, what is to be done, etc., etc. There is no clarity. That needs to be there. So you need to be sure-footed, meaning you know the connections, the Anubandha Chatushtaya, the introductory reasons. Anubandha, that which are added or mentioned or indicated in the beginning of a text. So, in order to ascertain this clearly, the first sutra, Athato Brahmavidyananda, the first sutra is there. it is said, Siddhartham Jnata Sambandham Shrotum Shrota Pravartate. Granthadau Tena Vaktavyaha Sambandaha Saprayojanaha. Shrota, the listener, Pravartate, proceeds to listen, to learn, to know. Shrotum, to know, to learn. The listener, the learner proceeds. Takes effort. With reference to what? Siddhartham. Siddhartham Shrotu. Artha here can be Prayojana, whose Prayojana is known. And that Prayojana, the Shrota wants. The person wants to have that usefulness, that Prayojana, that Phalam, that result. Suppose I want to know something, say like something about biology, some fact about, suppose I want to know about my heart. Then I look into the book of this human physiology, then I know. So by knowledge, and why do you want to know? So that I can have an idea about my condition, etc. So the Prayojana is known, then the person proceeds. And that Prayojana, the person wants. Prayojana is known, and the person wanted Prayojana. In that, the person proceeds to know, to do, whatever. Here to know. Siddha Artham. Then Jnata Sambandham. The connections, the relations. That I want this phalam, I want this result, and for this result I need to know this, and this knowledge is presented in this book, therefore I need this book. Right? So the book gives the knowledge, the knowledge is what I want, therefore I am connected to this knowledge, and for this knowledge, this book, etc. And further they read it, that the connections should be known. Jnata Sambandham. This result I want, therefore I want to know, therefore I read the book. You see, therefore I listen to the book, I listen to the teaching. You see, Jnata Sambandham, Jnataha Sambandaha Yasya Bahuvrihi. Grantha. Jnataha Sambandaha Yasya Granthasya. Right? In which book, for which book he has this, the Sambandha is known. The Sambandha is known in that book, about the book, what it says. So, when the person knows what is the interconnection, the relations with reference to oneself and what is presented, then Shrota Shrotum Pravartate. And therefore, Tena Karanena, because of this, Grantha Adau, at the very beginning of this text, Grantha is the text, Adi in the beginning, Granthasya Adau, Tena Vaktavyaha, it is to be explicitly mentioned. By whom? By the Granthakara. Sambandhaha Saprayojanaha. Prayojana, the result, along with the result, the Sambandha needs to be mentioned. It is there. Now, here the question comes, what is the Vishaya for this Mimamsa Shastra? What is the Prayojana? The questions come. With reference to that, there is a discussion here, introductory discussion. Before we get into that, the entire Brahmasutra, the Vishaya of this entire Brahmasutra is Brahma. Brahma is the Prameya, the thing, the Vastu, the truth about which that is need to be known. So in the first sutra, Athato Brahma Jidhyāsa, the sutra starts with that. And from that sutra onwards, the Anuvritti, the Vishaya Anuvritti, and many places Shabda Anuvritti also is there. Brahma, the Shabda, and the meaning of that word, Anuvritti, is all over the entire Shastra. Anuvritti is there. For example, Athato Brahma Jidhyāsa, the first sutra. Second sutra says, Janmadi Asya Yataha. Yataha Yasmat. From what? From which? What is that which? Brahma. Yasya Brahmanaha. Yasmat Brahmanaha. So that Brahma Anuvritti goes in the second sutra. Shastra Yonitvat, the third sutra. Shastra Yonitvat. Brahmaiva Shastra Yoni iti, that word goes in the third sutra also, Anvritti. And in the fourth sutra, Tattu Samanvaya, Tat Brahma iti, like that, the Anvritti of the word or the idea is there all over. So for the entire Shastra, entire Brahmasutras. Even when the topic is something else, it is indirectly or directly connected to Brahma only. For example, sadhanas are discussed, phalas are discussed, various phalas are discussed, like loka prapti, etc. That's all discussed. In all that, the directly or indirectly connected vastu is Brahma only. Therefore, Krishnasya Shastrasya Prameyam Brahma vastu. And what is that Brahma? Atma Abhinnam iti. Atma Abhinnam Brahma. Brahma Abhinna Atma is the Gyayaha. Atma, which is Brahma, which is none other than Brahma, that is the Vishaya. Now, we have 4 chapters in this Brahma Sutra. 4 Adhyāyas are there, 4 chapters. In the first chapter is called Samanvaya Adhyāya. The chapter in which Samanvaya, the harmony, the one purpose, the single purpose of all the Shruti Vakyas is established. Meaning, all the Vakyas talk about Brahma Vastu. That is established in this Adhyāya, called Samanvaya Adhyāya. The second chapter is called Avirodha Adhyāya. Virodha is contradiction, opposition. Is there any opposition within the Shruti? Does one Vakya of Shruti contradict another? This is analyzed, and it is pointed out that there is no Virodha, there is no opposition, there is no contradiction, there is no internal contradiction. Then, is there any contradiction with the what do you call it? One text? Is there any internal contradiction? Or is there any contradiction between one Upanishad and another Upanishad? Is there contradiction? That's also analyzed and then pointed out that there is no Virodha. To give an example, well-known example, in the Taittiriya we have 5 Bhutas mentioned, whereas in the Chandogya 6th chapter only 3 are mentioned. There is no Panchikarana in Chandogya. There is no Trivritkarana in the Taittiriya. Are there 5 or 3? Which one is correct? There is a, are they not contradictory? Are they not different? Question comes. Then the Vichara point, this all part, it's part of that. What about that? Only 3 are mentioned, whereas in Taittiriya 5 are mentioned. Is it not a Virodha? Virodha is a dosha, is a defect. So it is analyzed and then pointed out that there is no problem, there is no Virodha. Alright. Trivritkarana is intended, therefore 3 bhutas are mentioned. Where necessary, we include the other 2 also. And not mentioned, these 2, Akasha and Vayu also, we include it. There is the Samadhana is given. Therefore, between one Upanishad and another, there is no Virodha, that is pointed out. Alright. Third, between Shruti and Smriti, Virodha, Smritis which echo the Veda vision, okay, in keeping with the Veda, Smritis which are not opposed to the vision of Veda, between those Smritis and Veda Vakyas, Vedanta Vakyas, are there contradictions? That's analyzed and pointed out, no, there is no contradiction. If there is any contradiction, it needs to be analyzed and understood in the context. You need to analyze. Then there is a 4th possibility. The Vedanta Vakyas and other people, other Darshana Granthas, like Vaisheshikas, Sankhya's Granthas are there. Are there not contradiction between Vedanta and this? That's also said. Where the other Granthas, other Darshanas contradict with the Tatparya of the Shruti, we give it up. We give up those portions. If Sankhya Siddhanta contradicts, wherever it contradicts with the Vedanta Darshana, we don't take it. Where the Sankhya Darshana does not contradict with the Vedanta Darshana, we accept it. There is no Virodha is resolved in that. So Avirodha Adhyāya, there is a detailed discussion is there. A lot of yuktis and the Purva Pakshas and then the various darshanas are all brought about in the Avirodha Adhyāya. That is the second chapter. The third is the Sadhana Adhyāya. The various sadhanas like Upasana, these are all discussed in great detail. With reference to Upasanas, it's not very clear what is said, and in some places you have similar upasanas are mentioned, similar wordings you have. Are they the same? Are they different? The analysis is done. If they are one, it's pointed out that it is one upasanam. If they are different, even though the wordings may be similar, but still the upasana is different from this, that is pointed out. Then in some places, the wordings, the presentation may be little different, but upasana is one. That's also analyzed. So such as sadhana, such as upasanas, they are discussed in the sadhana adhyāya. Which sadhana is important, etc. All these are all discussed. Then the fourth chapter is the phala adhyāya, wherein the gati for this jiva is inquired. Brahmaloka, Swargaloka, Gati, these are all analyzed. And then, is moksha another Gati? Is it gotten by upasanamba? Is it gotten by karma? Or is it gotten by karma, jnana, samuchaya, etc., etc. These are all discussed. Of course, this karma, jnana, samuchaya discussion, sadhana discussion comes elsewhere also. So the phala adhyāya discusses the lokaprapti, Jivan Mukti, Videha Mukti or Krama Mukti, they are all discussed. And then is there samsara avritti is there for the jnani? What about the upasaka? For the upasaka, punaravritti is there. For the jnani, there is no punaravritti, there is no samsara continuation. So the phala is detailed, is discussed in detail in the fourth chapter. And the Grantha, Brahmasutras conclude by saying, Anavrittihi Shabdat. It's said twice. Anavritti Shabdat is said twice to indicate the conclusion of the text. Grantha Parisamapti, to indicate that it is repeated. Shabdat, from the Shastra, Vedanta Vakyat, Shabdat, Avrittihi, Avrittihi means returning to samsara, continuation of samsara is not there. Na avrittihi, anavrittihi. Anavrittihi, for the jnani, avritti is not there, samsara is not there, coming back to samsara is not there. Anavrittihi. How do you know anavritti is there? There is no avritti. Shabdat. Shastra pramanat. And that what is referred to is the Chandogya Upanishad. Nasa punaravartate, nasa punaravartate. Chandogya is referred to. Thus the Brahmasutras conclude 4 chapters. Samanvaya Adhyāya, Avirodha Adhyāya, Sadhana Adhyāya and Phala Adhyāya. Each chapter has 4 quarters, 4 padas. Subdivided into 4 padas. Pada means a quarter, 1/4. In the first chapter, the first pada is called Samanvaya Pada. The pada, the quarter in which Samanvaya of the Shruti Vakyas, wherein there is clear mention or clear indication that these Vakyas talk about Brahma. Right? These Vakyas talk about Brahmatma, there is clarity. It's clearly, it's evident clearly. That's called Spashta Brahma Linga Vakyani. Vakyas in which the Linga, the indication is very clear that they are about Brahma. They talk about Brahma. Spashta Brahma Linga Vakyani. This is there in the first pada, also called Samanvaya pada. The second and the third pada, they discuss Upanishad Vakyas, wherein there is that linga is not very clear. It's not very clearly, it's not unequivocally, very clearly it is not known at first sight what they talk about. What do they say? It's not very clearly evident. But by analysis it is pointed out, they also talk about Brahma only. They are also Brahmalinga, there is also Brahmalinga, but the linga, the indication, wording is not very clear. Aspashta. So Aspashta Brahmalinga Vakyani. They are the subject matter for the second and the third padas. And the fourth pada talks about just words. Takes words and then what are the word? Agnihi, Vayuhu, Prana. What does the word Prana refer here? Elsewhere in some places the Prana may refer to the Prana Vritti, Apana Vritti, that may refer to that. But in some places the word Prana refers to Paramatma. Just the word Prana. Here it refers to Paramatma, Brahma. Right? In some places. Where it refers to Paramatma, that is pointed out. That is the Pada Pada. The fourth is the Pada Pada. The Pada in which specific words are analyzed, words occurring in the Vedanta Shastra, Upanishad, they are analyzed and pointed out that these words refer to, even though the word is Prana, what it means is Paramatma only. Somewhere we have Agni, the Agni refers to Paramatma only. Akasha, the word Akasha refers to Brahma only, not to the space. That's all settled in the fourth part. That's the Pada Pada. Alright, this is in brief about the Padas in the first chapter. Other chapters we can learn later, when the occasion comes, we can learn. Of course, we mentioned in the explanatory books, we have the detail. Each Adhyāya having 4 padas, that's all, names, etc. Vishaya, that's all there. Fine. Now, in the padas themselves, there are sutras, a few sutras talk about one topic. One topic is taken and then that is discussed. That's called Adhikarana. Adhikarana, a subsection within the pada which talk about one matter. It's called Adhikarana. There are more than 100 or so Adhikaranas in the Brahmasutras, more than 100. I do not exactly remember the exact number. 223 maybe. I don't remember the number exactly. In some sutras, in some Adhikaranas there are some 7-8 sutras are there. Whereas in certain Adhikarana there is only one sutra. Just one sutra. One Adhikarana has one sutra. For example, the first 4 sutras are each one Adhikarana. So Jijñāsa Adhikaranam is the first sutra only. Then Janmadi Adhikaranam, second sutra. Shastra Yonitva Adhikaranam, third sutra. Samanvaya Adhikaranam, the fourth sutra. Only one sutra. So we have Adhikaranas. Incidentally, we have a book also written by Sringeri Acharya, Vaiyasika Nyayamala. There is a book. The Garland of Reasoning, arriving at the Tatparya of the Shruti, composed by Vyasa, Vaiyasika Nyayamala, or simply Nyayamala. or Adhikarana Mala, it is there. We have in our book, at the beginning of each sutra, this shloka form it is given. That is the Adhikarana Mala, Vaiyasika Nyaya Mala. The shlokas are quoted. Okay, we have in our book, we have. Alright. So this is in brief about the Bhaga, the Brahmasutra Shastra. Now, the Vishaya and the Prayojana, they need to be mentioned. Why do we need to study Brahmasutra? Why do we need to understand the Shruti Vakyas? In order to understand Shruti Vakyas, Brahmasutra study is necessary. Why? The question comes. Therefore, the Vishaya and the Prayojana have to be mentioned, indicated in the very beginning. As we see, Siddhartham in the shloka, Siddhartham Jnata Sambandham Shrotum Shrota Pravartate iti. Granthadau Tena Vaktavyaha Sambandhaha Saprayojanaha iti. Stated by Swami Kumarila Bhatta, the great Acharya, in the Shloka Vartika. Alright. So it has to be mentioned, this has to be mentioned. Means all the four Anubandhas have to be mentioned. Anubandha is the introductory reasons. Why a person should hear, listen to this. Why a person should study this. That if the person knows that, yes, I am the one who wants this result, in order for this result I need to do this, then the person engages in this. Therefore, the Shrota, Shrotum, Pravartate, therefore the Anubandha has to be mentioned. Now, the Purva Paksha, the questioner, the doubter, says, there is none, there is no Vishaya, there is no Prayojana in this. What Prayojana you want, you can get from elsewhere. And the Vishaya that is mentioned, it is untenable, it is not possible, it is not there at all. Therefore, Vishaya is not there, Prayojana you can get elsewhere. Therefore, there is no need to look into this. Suppose I can get butter, suppose I want butter, and if there is in my house there is fridge, and in the fridge there is butter, I get from it. They open the fridge and take butter and use. I did not go to the market to buy the butter, no, because it is there. So like that, when the Prayojana is gotten by some other means, familiar means, easier means, then I should do that. Why should I get into this vichara, etc.? Therefore, the Prayojana can be gotten by some other means. Therefore, this is not necessary. And there is no Vishaya also. Jiveshwara Aikya, you say, it's not possible. Therefore, Vishaya is not there. Prayojana is not there. Therefore, this vichara is not necessary. Futile. There is a question, doubt is there. That needs to be pointed out. No, sir, there is a Vishaya. Anadhigata Vishaya is there. A Vishaya which is not known, otherwise is there. And knowing which, there is a Prayojana also, it is there. This Prayojana cannot be gotten by any other means. That needs to be made clear. Therefore, the Vishaya and the Prayojana discussion, briefly it is there. Now the Purva Pakshi explains why I say that this has no Vishaya, this has no Prayojana. Mīmānsa, Brahma Mīmānsa, Vedanta Mīmānsa has no Vishaya, has no Prayojana. Why I say? Because what is said, what is said in the Vedanta? Jiveshwara Aikya, Jiva Brahma Aikya, that is what is said. But is it there? First of all, is it there? No, it is not there. Why it is not there? Because I am different from Brahma. This is everybody knows this. I am not Brahma. I am a Jivaha. I am a Karta Bhokta. Ishvara is not a Karta Bhokta. Ishvara is not a Samsari. The Veda, the division, the difference between me and Ishvara is irreconcilable. We cannot reconcile this. I can never connect me with Ishvara. I can never equate myself with Ishvara. The difference is so clear. It cannot bridge the gap at all. Therefore, there is Pratyaksha is there. Everybody is Anubhava. The Pratyaksha is there. And further, I am different from you. We are different from something else. The Veda Pratyaya is there. And you say Atma Ekaha, Brahma Ekam, Advitiyam iti. That's also not there. Jiveshwara Aikya is not there. Because Pratyaksha Pramana shows that Jiva is not Ishvara. If I were Ishvara, then I should feel so. I am Ishvara, I am Nitya Muktaha, it should be there. That is not so. Ishvara is free from dukkha. I have lot of dukkha. Some sukha. Therefore, Jiva cannot be Ishvara. Pratyaksha Siddham it is. When it is Pratyaksha Pramana Siddha, how can your Shastra disprove that I am not different from Ishvara Brahma? It is Pramana Siddha, Pratyaksha Pramana Siddha. Sarva Loka Anubhavaha cha. And then Dvaitam is Satyam, it is Anubhava Siddha. Alright. So further, there are indications. I am the Karta, whereas Ishvara is Akarta. I am Bhokta, Ishvara is Abhokta. So many indications are there from which we can infer also that Jiva cannot be Ishvara. Therefore, Pratyaksha Pramana is there, Anumana Pramana is there, thereby Jiveshwara Aikya is not there. That is the avowed Vishaya of Vedanta. Jiveshwara Aikya is the Vishaya of the Vedanta. That's what you say. I say this is not all there, not possible. Asambhavat. Since it is impossible, there is no Vishaya for this Vedanta. Therefore, Vedanta Vichara is futile. Further, all these, my association with the body, my having a birth, my undergoing changes, my having Sukha Dukkha, my being related to the world, these are all real. These are all real. Just because I close my eyes, I don't become unconnected with the world. Still I am connected with the world only. Just by wishing, things don't go away. Therefore this relation, this bandha, these are all real. Bandhaha satyaha. This is everybody's anubhava again. When bandha is satya bandha, a real bandha cannot go away by knowing something. If bandha is not satya, then yes, it may go by knowing the true nature. Like Rajju Sarpa. There the Sarpa is not real. Therefore by knowing that this is Rajju, the Sarpa vanishes, goes away. But here it is not so. I am Dukhi, I am Karta, I am Bhokta, Samsari, Parichinnaha. This does not go away by jnana. Alright sir, I did not know that Aham Brahmasmi. Now you told me Aham Brahmasmi. Still I continue to be the same Devadatta. I still continue to have problems. I still continue to have all the hunger and thirst, etc. Then, if I were to know that Aham Brahma, this should go away, but this remains, that shows that Bandha is Satya. Therefore, Satya Bandha, a true Bandha, doesn't go by Jnana. When Jnana cannot remove this bondage, then there is no prayojana for this Jnana. And therefore the Shastra is Nishprayojanam. Mimamsa also, Vichara also Nishprayojana. There is no use of this Vichara. Better I should do some karma. I cannot be free from problems here. Elsewhere I can be free from problems. Swargadi. Therefore, Jyotishtoma I do. Thereby I am free from the problems here. I will be free from problems. So, Swargadi Praptyartham Karma Kartavyam Natu Jnanam na Praptavyam. It is Nishtalam. This is the Purvapakshi's position. There is no Vishaya. Vishaya is Aikya. Aikya is not possible because Veda is Satya. And then Prayojana is not there for the Mimamsa, Vedanta Mimamsa, because Bandha is Satyam. That Satya Bandha cannot go by knowing. Right? If the snake is real, you don't know it as a rope. Right? It's a snake. It doesn't go by knowing whatever it is. So, here, if the Bandha is not Satya, yes, but Bandha is Satya. So real, so intimate. Day in, day out, I experience this limitation of samsara. That doesn't go away by that. Even when you tell me, Aham Brahmasmi, still the same problems. I still have to pay the bills. So, therefore, this Shastra, this Vichara is Nishpalam. Therefore, Shastram na Arambhaniyam. Vicharaha na Arambhaniyaha. You don't get into the inquiry and all. It's all futile. This is the Purva Paksha. Now, Siddhanta says, now, even though you say Aham Samsari Jivaha iti, even though you say, this Veda, the Pratitaha Vedaha, Anubhutaha Vedaha, the experience difference is not Paramarthika. It is not as you think. There are moments in your life when you are free from the Veda Bhavana. Then there are moments when you are free from Dukkha, Klesha. To simple example, every day when you go to sleep, you are free from all the problems. If this Veda is Satya, how is it that you are free from the notion of division, limitation at times? How is it so? If Veda is Satya, if the Parichinnatva is Satya, that should be there all the way. It should be there in all experiences. But you yourself very intimately feel that Veda is not there at times. That shows that it cannot be intrinsic. It cannot be intrinsic. It cannot be your nature. It can be only Agantuka, brought about by some extraneous conditions, like Japa Kusuma Raktatva. Just to cite an example, it cannot be intrinsic, like the red color for the crystal, seen in the crystal, okay, doesn't belong to the crystal. It's accounted, you understand. You see the crystal red because a red flower is nearby. The crystal is colorless, but it appears red. Then you understand that the redness is because of the closeness of the red flower, Japa Kusuma. So like that, the difference, etc. is all explainable, understandable. That is not intrinsic to you, not your Swarupa. It is Agantuka, it is Upadhikrita, it is made to, it can understand that. Therefore, this Veda is not Satyaha, you can understand. And further, you can know that the Abhedaha Satya iti you can know. You say that the Veda is intimate knowledge for me now. I am suffering, this is very intimate. Every experience is like that, intimate only. You know it very aprokshataya, you know things, yes. When you know, the knowledge is very intimate, the experience is very intimate only. And when you know that I am free from samsara, that also becomes intimate. So this intimate experience of dukkha is not a proof that you are a dukkhi. When you know that you are free from dukkha, that also becomes intimate. Therefore, that dismisses this, your notion that aham dukkhi samsari is dismissed. Therefore, Vishaya is there. And further, Shastra is a pramana. Shastra tatparyane, it says, when you have pramana buddhi, pramanya buddhi in the Shastra, the Shastra says that jivo brahmaiva iti. Therefore, it is not nirvishayam. Shastra is not nirvishaya. Shastra has a vishaya iti. Okay. Shastra vishayatvad shastram arabdhavyam vicharaha Arabdavya, vichara kartavya. You need to know. Not just because vichara alone, Vishaya is there, Prayojana also is there. Usefulness is there, Moksha, iti, Prayojana is there, Anartha Nivrittihi is there, Atyanta Dukkha Nivrittihi, Palam is there, Niratishaya Sukha Prapti is there, Phala being there. And this is not a Anitya Palam, this is not a Karma Siddha Palam. Karma Siddha Palam will be Anitya, Swargavati, Phalavati, like any result, Yagadi Phalavati, Anitya. Whereas this is not Karma Janya, this is Nitya Siddha. Therefore, this is Nitya Palam, Moksha is Nityaha. And further, this is the Purushartha. Sarvaha Jantuhu wants this, every Jantu wants this. This Moksha Phala is there. Therefore, Prayojanavatvam is there. What is the pramana for this Prayojanavatvam? When you know, you have the Phalam. Definitely have the Phalam. Before I know, where is the Phalam now? Before you know, where is the Phalam? Before you do Yaga, where is the Yaga Phalam? You do the Yaga, then only you get the Yaga Phalam. So similarly, you do the Vichara, you gain Jnana, then only Jnana Phala can be there. For that you need Shraddha, you have to have Pravritti in the Shastra. Then you do that, when you do that, you definitely have the Phalam. The Shastra is Anaikantika, definitely gives the Phalam, provided you have Pravritti in it, you have Tatparya, you have commitment in it. Therefore, Prayojanavatvam is there. Therefore, Vishaya and Prayojanavatvam be there. And this Dvaita is not Paramarthika, Samsara is not Paramarthika, it is Adhyāsa. It is Adhyāsa, projected, it is foisted upon you, the Atma. Therefore, Shastra points out that this Samsaritva is Adhyāsa, like Rajju Sarpa. Like Rajju Jnanena, Kalpita Sarpa Nivritti is there, so too Atma Jnanena, Samsara Nivritti is there. Therefore, Prayojanavat Shastram Arabdavyam, Vicharaha Arabdavyaha, Prayojanavatvat, Vishayavatvat, iti, it's all there. And the so-called Veda, Bandha is, that goes away by Jnana, like Rajasarpa, since it is Adhyasta. So Tikakara points out, Bandhaha Jnana Nivartyaha. Bandha is removed by Jnana. Veda is removed by Jnana. Samsaritva is removed by Jnana, goes away by Jnana. Since this Veda, this Bandha is Adhyasta, Adhyastatvat, Rajju Sarpavat. So, therefore the Prayojana also is there. Therefore, Shastra has Vishaya, Shastra has Prayojana. All right. Now, Bhashyakara, in the Adhyāsa Bhashya, Bhashyakara indicates the Vishaya also, the Prayojana also he presents. And he leads, through the Adhyāsa Bhashya, he leads us to the entire Vichara and in specific to the first sutra. A question comes here, so far, that the Shastra is futile, that was answered. And then the first sutra is futile, that was also answered because Vishaya and Prayojana has to be mentioned. The first sutra mentioned the Vishaya and Prayojana, it's mentioned. The entire Shastra is Phalavat, that is mentioned, Vicharaha Kartavyaha. And the first sutra is also, has to be Vichara, in the first sutra Vishaya also, Vicharaha Kartavyaha, this point out because Vishaya Prayojana, that Anubandha Chaturthi is there. Now, a question comes here. This initial text, introductory text is Adhyāsa Bhashya. Is this an explanation of the sutra? Is this an explanation of what is said in the other sutras? No. This is an independent commentary. Even though the book is about the commentary on Brahmasutra, but this Adhyāsa Bhashya is there Is this a commentary on the first sutra? This is a commentary on any other sutra? No. Therefore, this Bhāshya is futile, not necessary. The question comes, what is the need for this Adhyāsa Bhāshya? You say, I am writing Bhāshya, and you say your own things. Right? What is this? Are you explaining the first sutra? This is the Adhyāsa. Where is the word Adhyāsa in the sutras? Nowhere. You are talking about Adhyāsa. So this is unnecessary, futile, irrespective, unconnected. This Adhyāsa Bhāshya is unconnected to sutras. There is a question here. So it is answered, no. Even though Shabdataha, the word, there is no connection. Connection in the sense, the word Adhyāsa, etc. do not occur in the sutras. Even though it is not there, it is still connected with what is said in the sutras. It is definitely, by implication, by meaning, the Bhāshya is connected to the sutras. Definitely, what is said in the sutras, Anubandha Chaturthaya is there. Brahma Jignāsa Kartavya, before the Brahma Jignāsa, Ataha. Ataha. These two words are very key important words. They imply that therefore. Atha, thereafter. Ataha, therefore. Ataha, Brahma Jignāsa. This therefore, what does this therefore mean? Right? It is not it's not somewhere in the middle of the text, in the first sutra. There is no other word preceding that. Atha, ataha, there are no words preceding that. Right? So, therefore, you have to say something and then you say therefore. But the very beginning is therefore. What is this? Therefore being there, therefore, there must be something before that. And this is the Adhyāsa. Even though the description is not there, Adhyāsa is relevant here. The word Ataha means Adhyāsa is the Adhyāsa Nivrittaye, Ajnana Nivrittaye. Therefore, Brahma Jignāsa is Kartavya. Vicharaha Kartavya. It is connected. Therefore, this Bhāshya is connected. It's about the text only, about the Vishaya only. That is there. There is another minor objection. Okay? Another minor objection is there. In any Sampradaya Grantha, there must be Mangalacharanam. In the Vastu Nirdesha, Guru Namaskara, etc., Ishtadevata Namaskara, etc., some Mangalacharana should be there. Here Bhāshyakara states, begin with Yushmad Asmat Pratyaya Gochayo. Straight away, there is no Namasachidanandaya, etc., etc. Mangalacharana is not there at all. If a Grantha has not Mangalacharana, that means that the Granthakara doesn't follow the tradition. Therefore, it is an Asampradaya. Not a Sampradaya. If there is any Grantha without Mangalacharana, that means that the Granthakara is Asampradaya. Therefore, should not touch. You don't touch it with the pole. Okay? Keep away. Therefore, this Bhāshyam na pataniyam. There is a question here. Answer. It is not a strict rule that there must be Mangalacharana explicitly mentioned at the beginning of the text. It's not an explicit rule. It's a general rule. Yes. The absence of Mangalacharana should not be the deterrent to study a Grantha. It should not be. But what the Grantha says is useful, it should be studied. Definitely, we need to know. And when we are the Adhikari, when we are connected to the Phalam, we do that. So this is not a inviolable rule that there must be Mangalacharanam, one thing. Secondly, in some books there is explicitly Mangalacharana composition is there. Explicitly Mangalacharana is written. Yes. In some books there is not, the mention is not there. How do we know that the Granthakara does not have in his mind the Mangalacharana, Mangalam Acharati? Manasi, Mangalam Acharati, Na Acharati, how do we know? We don't know. So, we don't have to doubt just because explicitly Mangalacharana is not, the words are not there. It's not a rule that the Granthakara doesn't have in his Marana, the Mangalam is not there, there is no rule. Further, the second is further, here in the first Vakya itself, Asmat Pratya Gocharayoho, Vishayishanoho, Tamat Prakashavat Viruddha Subhavayoho, and then there, Vishaye, Vishayini, Chidatmake, etc. Asmat Pratya Gochare, Chidatmake, Vishayini, iti Atma Anusmaranam, Atma mention is there explicitly. Atma, who is Chaitanya, who is Parabrahma, explicit mention is there. It is not a rule that it should be the first word. The text begins with Yushmatma. It's not a rule that the first word should be Mangalacharana. But the first sentence it is there, that is good enough. It is there. So Mangalam Acharitam Yeva, and therefore this Grantha Bhāshya is free from that your aforesaid defect. There is no Mangalacharanam. There is Mangalacharanam. There is Mangalacharanam. In fact, the entire Grantha is Mangala Rupa only. Therefore, there is no dosha that is there. Alright. Now, the first sentence. A peculiar beginning. Peculiar in some ways. Okay. Usually, a text begins with some initial statement, introductory statement should be there. You don't start a Grantha with an objection. Nanu, if you don't start. Normally, we don't. There cannot be an objection before something is said, right? You open your mouth and say something, then somebody may object. Even before, you say, somebody says, no, stop. Why are you saying this? I have not said anything yet. Okay. So it begins with an akshepa. The text begins with an akshepa, an objection, a question. It begins with an akshepa. This is one peculiarity. We will see the context of this. So one peculiarity about this. And then Yushmad Asmad, one peculiar phrase is there. That we will be seeing. Okay. Now, how can there be an objection, a question, when nothing is said yet? How can be the first sentence itself be an objection? First sentence can be a question, all right. What do you want to say? Yes. But what you say is not right. How can this is the first sentence? I have not said anything. Therefore, we understand that the questioner, the akshepakaha, the questioner, in the mind of the questioner, there is already some understanding. Some understanding about what is going on or what is going to go on, what is going to start. There is some understanding in the mind of the questioner. Some apata jnana, some understanding, some knowledge the person has. What is that knowledge? What is the understanding? The person understands that what is said in the Vedanta doesn't accept what is said in the Vedanta. What is said, the person knows. It is said in the Vedanta Granthas, in the Upanishads, that Atma is Brahma. And then, in Atma, Sarvam Kalpitam, it is there. Like we have in the Chandogya, Sadeva Somya, Idamagra Asit, Ekamevadvitiyam. And then, Vacharambanam, Vikaro, Namadeyam, iti we have. So, from such Granthas, and perhaps from the various Acharyas, Upadeshtas, the Purvapakshi, the questioner, has understood that the Vedanta Grantha, Vedanta teaching says that Atma is Brahma, and in Atma Sarvam Kalpitam, Prapanchaha Kalpitaha. There is, in order for this Kalpana, there is a mixing up. Kalpana means, in the Rajju, Sarpa Kalpana means, Rajju and Sarpa are mixed up. When you say Shuktika Rajatam, when you say Shuktika and Idam Rajatam, when you say, there is a mixing up between the Shuktika and between the shell and the silver, there is mixing up. This mixing up is there, it is said, it is implied, it is said. Now the questioner asks, this is not possible. This is just not possible. There is no such mix-up possible. Why? Considering the nature of what you say, two things are mixed up, you say, considering the nature, etc. of these two things, mix-up is not at all tenable, mix-up is not at all possible. It is just impossible. It cannot happen. Based on this, the question is raised here. Okay? So the Purvapakshi has has heard what the Vedanta says, and then there the Vedanta Atma, Anatma, two vastus are there. Atma and Atma mix-up is there. It is said that the Purvapakshi says it is not possible, considering the nature of these two vastus. That is the first sentence he is putting his question. Now, we will see this. Yushmat asmat pratyaya gocharayoho vishaya vishayinoho tamah prakashavat viruddha svabhavayoho itara bhava anupapattau siddhayam. Command there, siddhayam. Based on that siddhi, tad dharmanam api sutaram itara bhava anupapattihi. Siddhayam. When this is established, this being established, this being proven, understood as correct. What is siddha? What is siddha? Anupapattau siddhayam. Upapatti means possibility, tenability, logicality, etc. Anupapatti means illogicality, impossibility. Anupapatti of what? When the anupapatti is siddha, the impossibility is so well established, so clear. What is so well clear? Itara bhava anupapatti. Itara, one becoming the other, one is taken as the other. This bhava, the nature, one cannot be the other, one cannot become the other. Which two we will see? Which two cannot become that we will see. Clay can become the pot, the yarn can become the kapada, the cloth, okay? Gold becomes the ornament. There is itara bhava only. Gold becomes the ornament, clay becomes the pot, milk becomes the curd. Okay? Hey, we are not talking about milk and curd, clay and pot here. We are talking about something else. Vishaya and Vishayi we are talking about. These two cannot become one another. So, itara bhava anupapattau siddhayam. One becoming the other, one mixing up with the other, that is not possible. Why? Which two we are talking about? Yushmat asmat pratyaya gocharayoho. This is a beautiful compound, a profound compound. Yushmat refers to you. What is referred to as you is Yushmat. Tvam, Yuvam, Yuyam iti, that goes. Yushmat iti, that is the you iti pratyaya. We will see the meaning of this also in detail. Asmat pratyaya refers to asmat means I. What is referred to as I and what is referred to as you. What is referred to as you, what is referred to as I. These two cannot become one another. One can never become the other. And therefore, itara bhava anupapatti siddha, that is established. What is this Yushmat pratyaya gochara? What is Asmat pratyaya gochara? Let's further explain. Vishaya vishayinoho. Why can't they two become one? Because viruddha svabhavayoho. Whose svabhava, Their nature is incompatible. There is no mixing up possible. Viruddha, opposite nature. Like what? Tamah prakashavat. Like light and darkness. Darkness can never become light. Light can never become darkness. Tamaha can never become prakasha. Prakasha can never become tamaha. Right? There is no possibility of mixing up these two. There is no possibility of mistaking one for the other. Darkness you don't mistake as light. Light you don't mistake as darkness. Nor they can mix up. Darkness becomes the light. Light becomes darkness. None of this is possible. Like this, light and darkness, tamah prakashavati, viruddha svabhavayoho, these are all reasoning. Why this anupapatti? Why they cannot be mixed up? Because they are viruddha svabhava. Is a key word. Viruddha svabhavatvat. Incompatibility, therefore they cannot be mixed up. They cannot be mistaken one for the another. One cannot become the another. This is the question. Okay. We will continue. Om Sanno Mitrasam Varunaha Sanno Bhavadvaryama Sanna Indro Brihaspatihi Sanno Vishnururkramaha Namo Brahmane Namaste Vayo Tvameva Pratyaksham Brahmasi Tvameva Pratyaksham Brahmavadisham Ritamavadisham Satyamavadisham Tanmamavit Tadvaktaramavit Avimam Avit Vaktaram Om Shanti 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 Sahana Bhavatu Sahanau Bhunattu Sahaviryam Karavavahi Tejasvinavaditamastu ma Vishavahai Om Shanti 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 Yaschandasa Rishabhu Vishwarupaha Chandobhyodhyamritaha Sambhabhuva Samedro Medhaya Sprunotu Amritasya Deva Dharanu Bhuyasam Shariram Me Vicharshanam Jihva Me Madhumattama Karna Abhyam Bhuri Vishruvam Brahmana Koshosi Medaya Prihitaha Srutam Me Gopaya Om Shanti 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 Aham Vrikshasya Reriva Kirti Prishtham Gereriva Urdraparitro Vajiniva Samritamasmi Dravidam Savachasam Sumedha Amritokshitaha Trishankor Vedanu Vachanam Om Shanti 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 Namada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Sishyate Om Shanti 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 Apyayantu Mama Ganiva Pranaschakshushro Pramato Balamindriya Nichasarvani Sarvam Brahmanishadam Maham Brahmanira Kuryam Mama Brahmanira Karot Anira Karanamastvanira Karanam Me Astu Tadatmani Nirate Ya Upanisha Sudharmaste Mali Santu Te Mali Santu Om Shanti 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 Vame Manasi प्रतिष्ठिता मनो मे वाचिः प्रतिष्ठितम् आविरावीर्मयेभि वेदस्य महानीस्थः श्रुतं मे मात्रहासीः अनेनाभीतेन रात्रान् सन्दधामि व्रतं वदिष्यामि सत्यं वदिष्यामि तन्मामवतु तद्वक्तारमवतु अवतु माम् अवतु वक्तारमवतु वक्तारम् ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः भद्रं नो अभिवादयमनः ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः भद्रं कर्णेभिः शृणुयाम देवाः भद्रं पश्येमाक्षभिर्यजत्राः स्थिरैरङ्गैः स्तुष्ट्वागुंसस्तनूभिः देवहितं यदायुः स्वस्ति न इन्द्रो वृद्धश्रवाः स्वस्ति नः पूषा विश्ववेदाः स्वस्ति नस्तार्क्ष्यो अरिष्टनेमिः स्वस्ति नो बृहस्पतिर्दधातु ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः यो ब्रह्माणं विदधाति पूर्वं यो वै वेदांश्च प्रहिणोति तस्मै तगुंहदेवमात्मबुद्धिप्रकाशं मुमुक्षुर्वै शरणमहं प्रपद्ये ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः राहुग्रस्तदिवाकरेन्दुसदृशो मायासमाच्छादनात् सन्मात्रः करणोपसंहरणतो यो भूत्सुषुप्तः पुमान् प्रागस्वाप्समिति प्रबोधसमये यः प्रत्यभिज्ञायते तस्मै श्रीगुरुमूर्तये नमः श्रीदक्षिणामूर्तये बाल्यादिष्वपि जाग्रदादिषु तथा सर्वास्वस्थास्वपि यावृत्तास्वनुवर्तमानात्यन्तःस्फुरन्तं सदा स्वात्मानं प्रकटीकरोति भजतां यो मुद्रया भद्रया तस्मै श्रीगुरुमूर्तये नमः श्रीदक्षिणामूर्तये विश्वं पश्यति कार्यकारणतया स्वस्वामि सम्बन्धतः शिष्याचार्यतया तथैव पितृपुत्राद्यात्मना भेदतः स्वप्ने जाग्रति वाय एष पुरुषो मायापरिभ्रामितः तस्मै श्रीगुरुमूर्तये नमः श्रीदक्षिणामूर्तये भूरम्भांस्यनलो निलोम्बरमः नाथो हिमांशुः पुमान् इत्याभाति चराचरात्मकमिदं यस्यैव मूर्त्यष्टकम् नान्यत्किञ्चन विद्यते विमृशताम् यस्मात् परस्मात् विभोः तस्मै श्रीगुरुमूर्तये नमः श्रीदक्षिणामूर्तये सर्वात्मत्वमिति स्फुटीकृतमिदं यस्मादमुष्मिंस्तवे तेनास्त्यश्रवणात्तदमननात् ध्यानात् सङ्कीर्तनात् सर्वात्मत्वमः विभूतिसहितं स्यादीश्वरत्वं स्वतः सिद्धेतत्पुनरस्तदा परिणतं चैश्वर्यमव्यागतम् वटविटपि समीपे भूमिभागे निषण्णम् सकलमुनिजनानां ज्ञानदातारमारात् त्रिभुवनगुरुमीशं दक्षिणामूर्तिदेवं जननमरणदुःखच्छेदक्षं नमामि चित्रं वटतरोर्मूले वृद्धा शिष्या गुरुर्युवा गुरोस्तु मौनं व्याख्यानं शिष्यास्तु छिन्न संशयाः निधये सर्वविद्यानां भवरूपिणां गुरवे सर्वलोकानां दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। ॐ नमः प्रणवार्थाय शुद्धज्ञानैकमूर्तये निर्मलाय प्रशान्ताय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। मौनव्याख्या प्रकटितपर ब्रह्मतत्त्वयुवानम् वसिष्ठान्ते वसदृषिगणैः आवृतम् ब्रह्मनिष्ठैः आचार्येन्द्रम् करकलितचिन्मुद्रमादरूपम् स्वात्मारामम् मुदितवदनम् दक्षिणामूर्तिः। अङ्गुष्ठतर्जनी योगमुद्रा व्याजेन देहिनाम् श्रुत्यर्थम् ब्रह्मजीवैक्यम् दर्शयन्नोऽवताच्छिवः अशुभानि निराचष्टे तनोति शुभसन्ततिम् स्मृतिमात्रेण यत्पुंसाम् ब्रह्म तन्मङ्गलम् परम् अतिकल्याणरूपत्वान् नित्यकल्याणसंश्रयात् स्मर्तॄणाम् वरदत्वाच्च ब्रह्म तन्मङ्गलम् विदुः। ओङ्कारश्चाथ शब्दश्च द्वावेतौ ब्रह्मणः पुरा कण्ठम् भित्त्वा विनिर्यातौ तस्मान् माङ्गलिकाबुभौ। ॐ अथ ॐ अथ ॐ अथ